Good evening, guys, and welcome to another DeathClock Dave Wednesday Night Battle Report recap. This evening we had Chris Birch playing Cygnar Nemo3 versus Corey Doyle playing Mercenaries, playing Ossrum. So we didn't have any list chicken tonight. Corey wanted to stress test his Ossrum list versus the Nemo3 Boogeyman, so it was a direct match there, so you can see the list descriptions in the YouTube description itself. And so Corey won the role to go first. You can see it says player there. That does get changed momentarily, but that is Mercenaries' first turn. And the scenario that we played this evening was Scenario 4 Breakdown. And guys, if you're enjoying the content that we're creating, please go ahead and hit like on that video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. You can search DeathClock Dave and follow me on Facebook. Email me directly, deathclockdave@gmail.com. And our gaming crew here also actively monitors the YouTube comments and Facebook comments if you guys have any comments about the match at all. So without further ado, I'll let the guys talk about their lists, why they think they're good, and that sort of thing, and then go right into the actual game. So go ahead, guys. So it'll take a minute to flick over there. So I guess I can talk briefly about the scenario. So Scenario 4 Breakdown, we have two circular zones that are Warcaster Warlock unit and a rectangular zone, which is Warcaster Warlock Warjack Warbeast. So, all right, go ahead, guys.
Love dead air.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my intent was to fully test Ossrum. My hope was actually that the game would go better and we would be able to squeeze two in, one me going first and one me going second. It failed to do that because, well, Nemo's actually really good, and Ossrum's pretty okay at not dying horribly. So on the table, we've got a hill on the left, a forest to the right of that of the bottom zone. Right in the center of the zone, we have a house. To the left, we have a wall, water, and then rubble on the top zone. On the far right, we have a hill on the top right. And then you can't really see it, but there's a forest behind the Stratter in the battle group there on the right. So I win the roll. I deploy most of my battle group pretty tight around my caster, at least the heavies, because my intent is just to get across the board. I know that the game probably goes horribly for me if it lasts beyond turn 3. So I just want to jam as many armor 22 models at them as I can. And then, you know, I've got some things I'm curious about whether they work or not. I ambush Anastasia and Huckchuck with the hope of at least pushing his models more to the center where my gunners and my my driller and stuff will be heading. And then I flank hard with both my units of eliminators that probably aren't getting into the game.
Yeah, so playing Nemo3, my deployment was pretty typical. Try to do 2 flanks, try to see if I can divide more and conquer sort of thing, and try to see if I can space them out. Pretty standard, went both Striders both sides. I messed up on my deployment actually because I was actually going to put Junior on the other side so I could give both my Striders bonus to armor.
So I set Eris up directly across from Dynamo because my intent with this is to hopefully be able to swap Snipe to Eris and between Eris and Gorman, and then hopefully blind one of the Striders early game, and then hopefully just be able to keep Dynamo out for a couple of turns. Here's a quick description of terrain. If anyone doesn't know, we use rubble in this game, and in rubble is cover and rough terrain. And this is my magic 4-inch measuring stick, which is the anti-Nemo tech. Yeah, the greatest anti-Nemo tech ever, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I failed to on turn 3 follow up on.
There's a couple times when you would use it, and then you would go back and undo what you were going to do with it.
Yeah, well, I'm bad at this game.
Oh, and here we are. I'm talking about where what's what.
So on my board, on my side, I've got 2 gunners in the bottom, Hearn and Jean, Basher, Driller, my caster, Ann and Holtz, Gorman. I've got Basher, Driller, 3 gunners, eliminators on the top and on the bottom of the screen. You can't see the ones quite on the bottom; they're just under the where my name is.
Yeah, and then for my lines, I got essentially Strider, Dynamo, I've got Firefly. The second Firefly going up from the bottom is on Jake's. Arlen is behind the other Firefly. I have Nemo with Squire. I've got the blue Firefly is with Junior, and then the other Firefly above that. Then I have my Arc Node, the Lancer, and then once again the other Strider.
Okay, so my theme gives me advanced move. So I will advance move, of course, 4 of my 5 heavies as I'm missing a unit right now. So here's just where I'm deciding whether I die turn 1, because it's Nemo and Strider shoot a long ways. Lucky for me, Chris can't quite get far enough into the forest to see me, so he has to move out on a weird, like, oblique angle. I don't know if oblique's the right word, Chris.
Good enough for me.
I'm bad at English. So I'm just making sure that he can't walk out with a Strider and shoot me. Once I know I'm safe there, I cast Snipe on Gorman, because I'm hoping that at least he puts resources into dealing with him. And then I cast Bullet Dodger on myself, because +2 defense and dodge is probably going to be handy maybe late game. And then I charge forward and field charge at Dynamo, because Dynamo angers Ossrum. It does take me probably 4 minutes to come to that decision, because, again, bad at this game. At least this one, because it's not a game I want to play. But I hear Nemo3 is popular.
Kind of. For obvious reasons.
Obviously, because it's good.
Yeah.
So the rest of my turn is just a decision on how much I actually want to give him. So I'm trying to figure out where Eris can go and not die, but still have some value in the game. I think the decision we talked about was the distance he would need to force hammer his own model, plus Energizer and run. So I want to make sure on a force hammer he needs a 5 or 6. It gives me a 66% chance that he just wastes an entire activation, runs and slams. It probably stops him from doing it, just trying to kill Eris. Because again, Eris is going to hopefully be able to disrupt Dynamo.
And there's that anti-Nemo tech right there.
Anti-Nemo tech, yep.
And here we spend the next 2 minutes trying to keep everything out of 4.
I did burn a lot of clock.
You did.
On probably a turn I didn't need to.
But at the same
The
time,
best part of this too is this it's too far forward that my driller actually can't run there.
Yeah.
So I ended up running a basher there instead. Because I placed the token, I wanted to use it.
Well, why not?
Yeah. A lot of my placements trying to space, and I think this was more practice to make sure for later in the game, and then I just, for some of the moves later, I was trying other things, or just straight up forgot to use 4 inches. On the bottom right, I just moved my eliminators. One is going to run as far forward as it can, the other is just going to trail behind, again, hoping to not die to random E-leaps. Hearn and Jean, to me, just seem like they're going to run to his own mid-game, so I'm just trying to camp them on my caster where they'll be perfectly safe, hoping that Chris doesn't get into his zone and I can block him out, and then steal 2 points, because I think points are going to be valuable in the game, and even if I don't win the game, at least points give me, in a tournament, late-game pressure. So having the points and practicing that's probably a good routine. On the right, so I moved Gorman up pretty aggressively, and I knew I wanted to. So what I did was I put all 4 models touching, so any shot into them cannot leap to Gorman, and then I flanked hard with the eliminators.
That's called insulation.
Yep.
Insulating your jacks.
We're trying to adjust the camera here. We shouldn't have. It was a horrible decision. We're bad people.
Well, now you can see the eliminators.
Yep, and I did move. At this point, I did nudge the eliminators forward, actually, so they weren't completely invisible on the screen.
Yeah. Putting them within 4 of Iris, which you told me to try them not, but at this point it doesn't matter. Because you did punch straight towards Iris.
Yeah.
But either way, it doesn't matter.
Getting dizzy watching the screen.
I know.
And then Ann and Holta just ran up and stealthed themselves. Because I didn't think Chris was going to waste a feat to kill 4 models.
No.
I hoped he did.
Well, there's always the hope.
I was offering to pay him. I'm pretty sure I offered him money.
Off camera. On camera.
Totally off camera. I was texting him amounts of money it would take for him to throw this game. All right, Chris, what were you thinking?
So, my turn there, I see that he's moved up pretty aggressively up during mine. What I'm looking at right here is what angles can I do. Obviously, there's going to be no feat this turn. I know that from the beginning, but it's positioning myself so that way you can't alpha me. So I put the Strider up in the zone there for the idea that he can't charge me. If he wants to run to engage, that's great. He's going to pull it so far out of his command that it effectively becomes a slugfest. And I can still shoot. Looking around, see what I'm doing next. So I put the other one down just behind the, because I forgot and I didn't actually get the armor buff that I wanted. So I kept it out so that way he couldn't charge me. He had to run to engage. And this effectively I thought would keep it a little safer because, well, it's armor 19 and drillers and such are scary. Here I start moving a few things up. I put Jake's jack up forward.
I like to think that's the most annoying jack in the game.
It is, especially when you put psychic on it.
Yeah,
Def 15.
Def 15 can't be moved.
Yes.
Because like I have a faction that likes to bulldoze.
Well, I have a spell that says no.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is. So here I put it up in the way. It's just to force if he wants to charge it, go right ahead. And you're just going to basically feed me things at this point.
I was curious as to why you put Dynamo there.
Dynamo there, I figured I was positioning him to get ready. I should have kept him back, I know.
Yeah, I thought you took me in the forest.
I thought about it, but I figured if I got too far forward, then he would have trouble shooting the next turn and it would limit my stuff.
Yep.
I figured if I put him behind the forest, he's only speed 5, and I kind of wanted him to sit to aim just in case, and it's double ones basically not hitting.
And no Pathfinder.
And no Pathfinder really hurts him.
Even with focus, he's still pretty scary on the feet.
Yes.
Or without focus.
Without focus, he did a lot on the feet, actually. Here I am just basically putting up my spell.
Hate that guy.
This basically says Corey can't do his shenanigans. Positioning my guys around because I know there's going to be flankers at some point. So I'm positioning my stuff around. Junior gets a little ballsy by trying to put Arcane Shield a little farther over than she should have.
And you forgot Repo 3.
And I forgot the Repo 3 back. I learned this about turn 2 or so into it.
I'm pretty sure it was turn 3.
Yep, I always remember too late in this. So I think here I pretty much pass over and...
So for those that don't know, one of Ossrum's best spells is Bulldoze. He's able to push jacks, so that helps score scenario. One of Nemo's best spells is Magnetic Field. It just stops pushes. So that was part of the limiting thing that made this game really hard. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to place a proxy. I realize that one of my gunners is out of range, so we use the proxy to get it legit again. My intent is to run a gunner up into the grouping of 3 and then Gorman blind.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, I'm also bad at measuring and pre-planning and a lot of other factors in this game. So I end up just trying for 2 of them. Then I bring in Anastasia and Huckchuck just on the top on the right where you can't really see them. But I activate them pretty early because I don't want to forget them. And I tend to actually either forget to bring them in or forget to actually do things. So I'm in range with Huckchuck to shoot. So Anastasia just runs in behind. My hope here is to just start turning resources to deal with me. So Huckchuck walks forward 5, range 8, shoots. I want to save him in the back arc, so I only need a 6 to hit, and I do Quake. And tragically, I miss.
Yes.
That was pretty painful because
it was.
A knockdown junior with gun buddies within range is pretty sad. Yeah. And again, it does no knockdown if I miss.
Yeah, it didn't even scatter for even somewhat damage. It was...
Yep, just did nothing. Which is fine, because Huckchuck is there more for a reason just to draw attention away from hopefully you shooting down all my gun buddies.
Yes.
Or drillers, because drillers are super important.
They are. So are bashers.
Yeah, I guess.
But when they're out of command, they can still slam
for free. Yeah, bashers are pretty focus efficient.
Yeah.
So this is evidently most likely going to be my feed turn. I think this is probably the biggest mistake I make in the game, and one of 3 that I think was important for me to learn. Instead of being aggressive with my caster, camping 4, and putting up behind the wall to hopefully survive Nemo's feet and then insulate myself, instead I opted to sit back behind the wall, where I'm completely safe and I'm not going to die. So I actually walk over the wall, I energize her, get all my models in for my control, I feet, and then I energize her back over the wall. And the reason for that is I actually left the far top gun buddy out of my control area, so I couldn't feed on him. So I had to move that way to get the feed on. That one walks up, takes a shot at Junior. I'm pretty sure I miss.
You miss. The second one I think hits, but no, I think you miss.
No, I think I shot your Firefly.
Oh, you shot the Firefly. Yeah.
So this is the start of a couple of mistakes for me. So I run my defense 9, armor 21 Jackford, and then instead of hitting my defense 9 Jack in the back to blind his Colossal, I opt to shoot at my defense 12, become 16 engaged Jack with my Rat 5 Gorman DeWolf, and I miss. And now the Strider's not blind.
Yeah.
Because good times happen. So instead, I walk up with the other gun ready. I shoot the Firefly. I'm pretty sure there's nickel and dime damage on this.
Yeah, you just
here.
nickel and dime him. Nothing too crazy.
And this is where, again, I'm in the tank. This is a hard turn for me because if I place too close together with my feet, you're just going to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't force you to stay engaged with me and put some pressure on you about damage, you're just going to sit, milk my feet turn, and then feed on the next turn.
Yeah. So here you decided.
So I'm trying to shoot Finch. I get within range. Unfortunately, Finch is out of line of sight, so instead I shoot the Junior. He shrugs. Junior takes 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
Because Juniors are actually surprisingly good when they can transfer damage.
Yeah.
Shrug him 5. So the Basher charges, boost hits. I think I do 6 points of damage to the Firefly or 5 points of damage to the Firefly. Then I flak field for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think I had a flak field for the damage.
You flak field for damage
because I missed a hit.
You missed a hit because it's def 15 and you didn't like that.
Well, yeah, need 9s, so like you're gonna miss. And then I run this other one over, and what I did on the right is you can't quite see him, but Arlen Strangeways is hiding. So I run it at base Arlen Strangeways and I base the Strider. So hopefully they can't get too far apart that I can't at least kill one of them. My hope is to kill Arlen because at this point I feel like Ares is pretty safe. He can't get the Strider within 10 or within 5. So you can't die to the Strider, and if I just don't put anything within E-Leap to Eris, I'm probably going to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So then I decide, forget it. I'll probably horribly lose this game because my dice went pretty sour. They were pretty soft, and I was having trouble doing any damage.
Yep.
So I just decide to run the Basher forward and engage Nemo. So the Basher up at the top of the middle screen by the forest is actually just base to base with both Nemo and Jake's.
Yep.
And then I moved 2 gunners up. I think the gunners took shots at the blue Firefly in the middle.
Yep.
Did a little bit of damage, plinked at it.
Nickel and dimed again.
Not rolling great, but not rolling too bad.
Nope.
About
under average at best.
Yeah, a point or 2. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing to do, though, when you're playing an uphill game and you know it's uphill, and then you roll a little soft. It is...
Yeah, then it becomes more of an uphill.
It is frustrating. So then I'm able to run my driller forward, and my hope here, because I've realized I've put so many models out of control, is to put a driller in control, in range to still be effective in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I move in and hold up, just to try and put them somewhere where they're actually going to be useful. And then I walk up and then pour it over. Remember at this point that I have Puppet Master on a stick, and I'm, again, just making mistakes.
All right. So I start my turn off here, debating whether or not to feed for a little bit. I decided not to feed actually during this because I feel I can maneuver around enough and I'm not going to do enough damage. I need to wait till he goes down by 3 armor and just see if I can force it. All stuff is out of command at this point.
Yeah,
so I feel okay.
Because damage is your problem in this game.
But I'm saying a plus 3 armor is a thing.
Oh, yeah, basically we trade feats.
Yeah, in which case I feel that I need to weather your feet. Yep. And then
I agree, it's completely the right play.
Yeah.
I'm not in a great position. I left way too many models out of control.
And that's why I felt fine with weathering the feet for this turn.
So the spot I should have been, you can't quite see it, and I'm pretty sure I actually put sticks down to measure it in a minute here, is on the other side of the building, an inch away from the building. I would probably have been relatively safe at def 20, and he would have had to leap to kill me, and I don't think he has enough juice in the army to leap to kill me.
Yeah. So here on my feet. So here we've determined actually the Lancer is actually out of melee.
Not engaged.
Not engaged.
By my Mat 6, PAL 6 gun buddy.
I don't... we see later on what happens. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen this part. So here we are. Here's where Corey learns that he could have been much closer. And...
Yeah, I think if I'm closer, I put a lot more pressure on you.
Yeah. So I do a couple measurements.
Pretty sure this is where I'm getting texted that I'm an idiot.
I think you're getting... Yeah, because you get mad. You don't want to be texted.
Yep.
Yeah. So what was I doing? Because I know there's a couple things I do. Yep, I learned that Jake's is parry. Good things. Jake's does not want to die. What am I doing at this point? Oh, I'm looking at Hutchuck. Hutchuck is behind me. I do not like it because it is Quake. And
well, you've got Hutchuck and Anastasia too. So you've got basically a Weapon Master behind you if you leave her in your back bark.
Correct.
With a range 6 gun, so she threats 13.
And she gets boosted to hits.
And she gets boosted hit because she's got backstrike.
Yeah. So.
And then you've got a Quake gun that can knock you down, and then Gunner's out of control at POW 12 will still kill all your support stuff.
Oh, definitely. Like Junior goes down, I think that Strider goes down. Or at least it goes down quicker.
It just becomes the attrition game starts to lean a little.
Yeah. So I have to really protect my stuff, and exactly what Corey was aiming for was to make me turn around a couple things. What am I doing at this point? I do a lot of thinking this game. Too much thinking, not enough doing.
Oh, we didn't clock.
No, we did not clock.
It's my first game in a while I didn't clock.
Though I did get down to like 5 minutes by the end of this game.
I think I got down to 4, so...
Yeah. Dead Space.
Dead Space. So again, this is I think the decision this turn is Chris has already opted not to feat. He's allocated a couple of focus. And I think he starts shooting at...
Oh, I turned Junior around at this point.
Yep, you turn Junior and you hand cannon shoot at Anastasia
to miss, which honestly, I was like, okay.
Well, you need 11. You are at 4 against my def 15, and I think you rolled a 10. So
I did roll 10. I was just out, so here I decided to make a play with my Lancer.
I like this play. I just thought you were going to do something...
You thought I was going for Gorman.
I thought you were going for Gorman because I thought he would play a bigger port later in the game potentially.
I think learning from this, I probably would have went for Gorman. I did elect to instead choose to go after Ion and Holt because I figured the +2 was worth more than I figured Rust or something was coming.
I actually thought you were going to double chain lightning.
I thought so.
And not boost.
It's because the Basher was in my face, or else I would have.
Yeah.
And
go Basher.
Yep.
There's a Basher in your face? That's an amazing play.
I don't know who would have thought of that.
Next game, I think I'm just going to run 3 Bashers right to the Nemo.
That's exactly what I would do in that situation. Force a feat to literally have him punch you.
I actually thought you might force hammer the Basher.
I can't.
You can slam Bashers. You just can't push.
Oh, I thought I couldn't place them or move them.
No, you can place. You only can't push.
We learn things.
All right, so next game we have to rematch.
Yeah.
But I get your dice, you get mine.
No, I keep my dice.
Oh, your dice are amazing.
So at this point here, I think we're just.
So you walk back. Nemo's gone. You've opted not to feed.
Yeah.
You chain lightning killed Ion Holt, and then Finch walked back and took a shot at Anastasia needing a hard 10 and missing.
Yeah.
I think you rolled a 9 though. So again, it was.
No, I think I needed an 8 or something like that. Because no, I don't.
She's out of the strata. You needed a 10.
She's rat 5, so yeah, I needed like 10.
You needed a 10 and you rolled a 9.
So like my dice have been pretty good this game.
Arlen powers up Nemo.
Yep. Well, not Nemo. That's
sorry.
Dynamo. Yeah.
We check. It's amazing. Arlen is actually able to do that at 7.
7 inches away.
Yep, 7 inches
in combat with a basher.
With a basher. Arlen is my hero.
He is. He has a glorious death in a little bit.
He's my hero still. Because this makes Dynamo actually viable for the turn, because Dynamo turns over and actually puts a good chunk of damage on that basher.
Yes. So I started to stay full melee away, so if you wanted to come at me, you have to come to me. So then I just make a couple of shots into you, hoping to hit, and then if I hit again, it goes up to power 18, which it does.
This is, I think, one of the small mistakes, Chris, is I think you could have walked Nemo away even half an inch.
Yeah, and
then done just 2, and then I couldn't have flak fielded.
Yeah, and I feel that's what I probably should have done. Or even like walk Nemo, because I have 5 to your 4, I think. No, 5 to 5, so you could have chased me whatever what.
Yep, this would be 5.
Yeah.
You fully walk Nemo away though, and it's I get the free slam.
So here we change dice boxes because people complain that my dice sound like gunshots.
Your dice were loud in that tray.
Yep. But it is a plastic tray.
Yep. Now you have a Birch one.
I do.
Beautifully stained also.
Beautifully stained for Chris the Birch.
So I think at this point you've moved a Firefly into the zone.
I have. I had done a
couple
damage.
You moved Jake's into the zone, did some damage. Again, you're plicking away on those.
Jake's is in the zone. Jake's
Fireflies, right?
Yeah, Jake's Fireflies there because they're 15.
Yep, and now the Strata tows the bottom zone. This is the reason I didn't put the Eliminators in that zone, is I just knew the Strata was going to walk up and tow it.
Yep, and then basically at this point here, I'm just using it to shoot, which I did. I think I did.
You shot Hearn and Jean.
I did, that's right.
And I think you actually... This is the time I really appreciate your dice. You left Hearn...
With 1 or something.
Yeah, you missed on your second shot, and you left Hearn on 1 box. You left Jean. You only did 1 point of damage to Jean, but you did a sum to the Jacks.
Yeah.
Which is, that killing those gun buddies is probably key to Nemo not dying.
Yes. Because those ones are in command.
Yes, those are the ones I actually want to use this next turn.
So I end up actually not caring for Iris at this point because I can't get Iris.
Yep. So Iris is going to live. Daniel's going to get a turn where he can't be effective, which actually makes me really happy now.
Mm-hmm.
Because now the Eliminators probably have a pretty good chance of just killing Arlen.
Yep. So here I believe is when I activate my other Strider, and with my other Strider I like to actually turn it so I could shoot Hut Chuck.
Yep. Because honestly, if you don't kill Chuck, you lose Junior and Vinch.
Yep, and I realize this because I need to do something, and by doing this, I don't feel like I actually give up too much of my pressure.
Because you're still towing the zone.
Still towing the zone.
My driller's out of command.
Yep.
Or out of control.
Yep. So
I still step on my driller and do like 4 points of damage.
That's
and elite for 3 points out of my back. You had a good.
I did a very good job with these. Those guys are MVPs.
Yeah, you actually elite well enough that
on your feet turn even.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dice were hot. Let's just be real. My dice were hot.
No, you elite for nothing on this turn. You did the damage on the
next turn.
Yeah.
Next turn when
on my turn.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's something we don't want to give away, though.
No.
That was a fun time.
We'll keep that spoiler. That's the most frustrating moment of this game. That literally was the most frustrating.
Because after that, you realized that you could actually hit your own jack to give blind to my...
No, I realized that. I already did it.
No, I'm saying that you've already realized by this point that...
By this point, I realized I should have shot my driller.
Yeah. So I think here we go and...
I actually allocated and thought he was in, but he's not. So I only get the 3 focus, the 3 power-ups, and I can only allocate to 3 of my jacks, of which 2 of them don't want to allocate. So I give 2 to the driller, hoping that the driller can walk up and just kill Jake's jack. I only need to hit a 9 on my first attack, and then sustain attack with the drill means I probably put 3 shots into it, or 2 more shots into it at dice plus 2. So I should take care of most of it, at least cripple it enough to where maybe something else can hit it.
And here down goes Arlen.
Yeah. The Eliminators, I actually think I did poor on the first roll, and then I spike hard on the second to make up for it. So
yeah,
ends up doing fine.
You averaged it.
Yeah, I was pretty okay with this. The Arlen dying is important this turn because Eris is definitely within range to disrupt again. And that means Dynamo doesn't even get anything. So on Dynamo's feet turn, he's not going to be able to get focus. Which means in melee he's not near a beast. My fear here is that next turn with 3 focus he's going to walk up to both my basher and my driller possibly and just maim 2 of my jacks, potentially kill them.
Yeah, because I started POW
18,
19. I'm 17 base.
Your melee isn't plus 2 though.
No, but I can give it plus 2 with the spell.
Oh, you're right. Electrify.
Yep. Electrify.
Yeah, so that's probably bad news for me. We want to avoid that.
Yes.
So disrupting is super important. I'm in the tank for a long time on this turn. I think it's partially frustration because I'm in a bad spot. I made a huge mistake by being out of control, and again that number 1 here. So again, I want to use Anastasia. She walks into the back arc. Speed 7's amazing, especially with stealth. I think I hit and do no damage to Junior.
You do 4 damage, but I struck it.
Oh, that's right. I did do enough to do damage.
Yep, but I struck it.
Yep.
And by what he said earlier, he was meaning behind the house. Because you pointed at the screen.
Correct.
You could see.
Correct. I assume everyone can watch me.
Yes.
So I move both gunners up, shoot both gunners. He shrugs. And I think I do 1 point of damage total, and I hit Junior on both attacks.
You do.
And I think I do 1 point of damage on total, leaving Junior fine.
Yes, because you did 4 on the 1, or 5 on the 1, and shrug it.
So then I activate the driller, just to get this out of the way. The 2 Kazi Eliminators run in and engage. 1 engages the Lancer. I'm just trying to block it so that I don't get double chain lightning on my caster. This is the painful part where my game goes badly. Chris manages to dice spike his free strike at PAL 13 and do just enough to cripple to the dice my headbox system on the gunner. So the gunner, which would have shot and no focus, 1 wounded Junior, and take away Arcane Shield and a jack. But
also the note of this, it was blind. The Strider was blind.
Strider was blind for the free strike because I have blinded it. So -4 to hit. So -2 to hit. So it drops to mat 6.
Yeah.
Drops to mat 4. Goes up to mat 6 for free strike.
Yeah.
Sorry. Starts at 6. Goes to 8 for free strike. Goes back to 4 for being blinded.
Yeah.
So needs an 8 to hit. He actually rolled a 10. So he hit handedly, and then rolls well on damage. It was a.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I think it was like one of those 6-5-5 sort of rolls, and it was just.
I was really happy with that one. It was. I did not tilt me in any way, shape, or form.
Your face said no. Your face had a bunch of nopes in there.
No, it was fine. I knew what was happening. I also missed with my driller on the initial, so I missed my sustain attack. I think I do like 6 points of damage to Jake's Firefly, which is where I just get desperate, and then I end up just killing Jake's.
Yep.
So the 2 gunners walk up, shoot, hit both, and they both kill Jake's. I've also switched dice, which helps my mood most times, because sometimes I blame the dice, even though it's not. It's just the way life works out.
Sometimes I put them in the corner and give them timeouts.
Sometimes,
and then after timeout, they're okay.
Yep. So then I walk. So I opt to give a free strike to Nemo, who actually does good damage to my driller. My driller walks behind, flak fields for about 12. Does a point.
That's a point.
Then headbutts, or not headbutts, but takes his standard melee attack bash, which is about 15 hits. Need a 6 because I'm in your rear.
Yep.
I think I do 2 points of that at dice off 1.
Yes, you do.
I think
do
I
two
rolled
points
3.
you do 2 points after
I
I
shrugged. So you're right. I rolled a 7.
So you do 7 points damage.
So it was good rolling. I felt pretty good about that. But now I'm in a good spot because now you don't have much behind your caster. He's got to walk away, or you've got to bring Dynamo back again to fight me in melee, which is actually what I thought you were going to do.
I thought about it.
Was the Dynamo and the Firefly above me were going to come back to fight me, which would buy me another turn. Because I know I need more time.
I think at that point there I realize he's nickeling diming Nemo, and I think I'm fine as long as I camp. So basically I feel that I need to get more damage done on my feet turn than I need to keep Nemo safer. But that's the way I see it at this point. So this point here, I know it's my feet turn.
Yep, I ran Hearn over to block your Lancer because again, I don't want my caster who's camping 2. You can't see it because I'm bad at moving my tokens. Camping 2 with Bullet Dodger, so I am def 20 behind the wall. I made a couple small mistakes in this turn. Opting to give up a couple of free strikes is probably the wrong call. But I can't really do much. I forgot to activate the Basher on the bottom right behind the Strider.
Yep.
Which I probably could have moved into potentially a better position to be more useful.
I say you could have walked over and walked into the Dynamo.
Yeah.
And then forced Dynamo to have to combat.
Honestly, I was pretty tilted because your free strikes have been really good. So I didn't want to give you a pile 13, because that's 6 you probably do 12 damage.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
So my fear here is I'm going to lose. I wanted to stop Eris. That was my big mistake. I could have moved Eris further up. I also left Eris within 4 of the Jack in front of her. Lucky for me, Chris doesn't really have a Force Hammer avenue. And if he Force Hammers, he spends too much focus.
Yes. Whereas it's better for me to chain lightning or move my Strider up at this point.
Yep.
Take the free strike, move the Strider, and then that's actually I end up doing later on is just moving within 5 just to take it.
Yeah, this is where I realized I've made that mistake. So that's, again, I think my number 2 crucial mistake is Eris needed to be a little safer. And I could have put Snipe on her and just backed her up, and then she's completely safe.
So with this as well, the thing that you can't see really on camera is the Basher is closer than Eris, so Eris is still fine through insulation. Unless I kill that Basher, which I don't think it's been hurt yet.
It's got a couple damage, but not
it's not enough that I can one round.
You shot it last turn.
Yeah. Oh, and here goes.
So Junior kills Anastasia.
Yep, Junior goes into melee, kills Anastasia.
But that's average rolls to do that. You only need 10s to hit, and you need I think 3 to kill or something.
Yeah, I boosted just to make sure. Nemo does feed at this point. Finch moves forward. So here's comes the conundrum of does Nemo move?
You forgot to allocate also.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't know if you would have really been able to allocate much.
No, but we talked about it afterwards. At this point, I realized I forgot to allocate, but we realized that nothing's going to need allocation.
Yeah, shy of maybe your Lancer if you wanted to do melee and free him up, but then you're not really doing any dark spells.
No, and in which case I think I just left it alone. I could have done something like that, but I don't think it was really worth it. So here we go. I'm trying to figure out, do I stay in melee and just do a couple chain blasts over there, not chain blasts, sorry, chain lightnings. Here we go back to make sure that I'm moving properly.
Yeah, you did the first time. It's just with your language confused me.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, it's 3 to here, and I'm like, well, if you move 3, did you clip any of the woods?
And that's where I was going at, was the fact that it was about 1.5 inches I moved.
No, I understood. When you went back and re-showed me, it was bang on. You're actually probably cleaner in your movement than I was.
Yeah. So here's the determination.
So we measured. You were out of 10 on the.
Oh, and here we go. We give him the shot, and he cranks the damage.
That is a 6-6-4?
6-6-4 for damage.
So I only need a 6 to hit, so I should miss 40% of the time. So odds aren't great. I'm going to hit all the time, but I hit. And then, it's dice off 1 on a boost, so I should do about 9. He shrugs, takes 4. Instead, I leave him on 1 box.
Yep. So Nemo's not a happy. He is an old man.
Yep.
So at this point here, I'm like, I have to get as much work as I can done and try to kill everything. Or else I just lose. So Nemo does a couple good chain lightnings at this point. Takes out...
Is Nemo only 14 boxes?
Yeah.
Oh, I did leave you on 1.
He's an old man.
That was horrible.
He's old man.
So yeah, this is feat turn. You do double chain lightning on the 2 gunners.
Yep, and I do get typically 2 or 3 on mine, so it was going very well for that.
Yeah, you put a ton of damage on the Basher. You can't see it yet, but it gets there.
Yeah.
And again, there's a double chain lightning and a gunshot.
And there is, and then that was the thing I wanted to know if I should gunshot.
So it was a single chain lightning and a gunshot with a boost.
Yep. But boosted damage.
You capped it on 3.
Yeah.
No, you didn't need boost to hit.
No, I didn't boost to hit. I boost damage.
Yeah, that's me. You don't need to boost to hit.
No.
My stuff's pretty soft. There's my gun bunny on 2 boxes.
Yep. E-leaps will fix that.
E-leaps seem to fix everything.
So here, I think I'm pointing at my...
Because we're trying to figure out what to do with the strategy. We're going to turn. And
I was going to turn because you can get actually power tokens just from turning.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. You just need to move.
But I decided, let's just do, I think it was, I tried to do a melee
instead. You are blind. I think at this point you've realized he's not going to be blind next turn.
Yeah.
So you don't need to turn till next turn. You don't need power tokens.
So I tried to go and I think I hit double ones or something at this point, was it?
I think you'd hit the driller and you just don't do damage.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. So I think I rolled double ones to actually hit at this point.
You might have, yeah.
Yeah, because else I could have done some damage with...
This is Dynamo.
Dynamo goes, he sits to aim.
Yep, and you did this 100% right. I thought Dynamo got the +1 when he hit, but he gets it after the attack.
Yes. So after each consecutive hit. So here we go. We take 1 out, and the last shot of the last one, I believe I just do quite a bit of damage.
I've got 14 boxes on me.
Yeah.
And you're +3 damage to your POW 14, so you're 17 dice off 1.
Mm-hmm. I have POW 18 at this point.
No, you did +3.
Yes.
You're 17.
Yeah.
And you left me on 3 boxes.
Yep, which is about what I figured. Doing about a light and a half. About a heavy. That's what
you did 11 points of damage.
Yeah.
At dice off 1.
It's okay.
With your feet. So it's only 2 over average. So you're
nothing's
definitely where you needed to be.
So here at this point here I start letting free strikes go because I need to get damage done. So I think here we're talking about moving things around. I'm trying to remember what were we talking about at this point. There's a lot of talking. And just making sure that I think it's damage because damage was weird.
That's right. You took the free strike. And I hadn't heard that jack yet because you'd ran it 4, but you couldn't find the jack that had no damage on it.
Yes.
And you almost crippled it, but that was actually the Jake's jack from the turn before that had taken a bunch of damage.
Yeah. So here I go to take a shot at more. The gun bunnies just to finish them off. And I believe I take both out of this attack.
Yep. And you killed your junior's Firefly had killed the other gun bunny. So all 4 gun bunnies.
I'll die at this point.
No, you killed one with the shot, and this one was left in a couple boxes from the E-Leap.
Yes, it does die from... it dies from that. It dies when Eris gets shot.
Yeah, so this is you...
moving forward to kill
Moving
Gorman.
the Firefly to kill Gorman.
Yes.
Yeah, because Gorman doesn't get to be cute anymore and blind my own models to blind your models.
Yes, so I do hit here, I show the hit.
Yep, and you E-Leap through my... You E-Leap through all 3 models.
Including my own.
Yep. Yep.
And I do deal 1 damage to myself.
You did, but the E-Leap comes from your front, so you're fine.
Yep.
And then you manage to leave Hearn on 1 box?
I do.
No, you leave him on 2. Hearn's on 2, John's on 1.
Yeah.
Because they're amazing.
So here we get the judge's ruling to make sure we can move.
Well, we stopped the clock.
Yeah, because this is a very precise, very game moment.
Well, no, a lot of guys will cut through a model with quick, easy movement because they want to be fast, and we're both low on clock, so I'd rather just pause.
Yeah.
Do it thoroughly like we would in a tournament, and then restart the clock.
Yep. So here we go, and I shoot at Eris.
Eris dies like a chump.
Yes.
I think you didn't have to roll damage.
Nope. Nope, because I could roll triple ones and it still kills. Because POW 15.
And that's the leap that kills the
other
second,
bunny.
and does a bit of damage to Bunny.
Here, I believe, is I take my second shot into it.
This is actually the most terrifying moment of the game for me because my win escape plan right now is those 2 Kiazi eliminators.
Yeah.
Because Nemo still can't make 3. He'll eat the basher shots, maybe live. So he stomps, hits, leaps once, shoots, hits, leaps once. Leaves my basher on 1 box with the stomp and then kills me with the shot, leaving my other basher about half damage. But I can't quite get to you and I can't slam your...
You can't slam my Dynamo or nothing like that. So here comes our final turn.
Yeah, I'm in desperation mode. I have like 4 models left. I roll the hit with the basher.
Mm-hmm.
I hit. I do enough damage that he's able to transfer it.
That's your Kayazi in there.
I flak field. I do 0 damage. He shrugs it off. So then I send in my Kazi. I double 1 on my first hit. I miss. I charge with my fully loaded driller and managed to hit the 8 on my charge attack. I actually thought I was going to miss.
Yeah.
I was 100% sure I was missing that charge attack. And this is where I tell him how bad this game went for me. Because I made a ton of small mistakes and Chris was able to capitalize pretty big.
Yeah. So here we are. We're just discussing things that we could have done probably moving forward.
I think in hindsight, I needed to when going first is huge. I think if I go second in this game, I've definitely lost. I think
I pushed
can
too hard.
aggressively get in the zones and force them into feet turn 1.
Yep.
And then you're aggressively in the zones, and I think none of my stuff stays safe.
Or I back up and I give you 3 points to murder your army. I feel I can also probably do that and then put things in the zone after.
This is a bad scenario also because I can't really score that dominantly.
No, because
there's no passive scoring.
What I would do is I put both striders at the very toe. You can't score, and then my feet turn, which would be my turn 2, or is it my turn 3 probably? I went feet then.
If hypothetically we talk about that after. If I gone second, I think I feet and run as far forward as I can and just let you shoot whatever you want.
Yep.
Everything just stays 4 apart and it just spread out, or insulate and you have to kill me with pow tens. Which means you probably don't feed you back up. If you give me 3, I then just try and rejam and hope you can't kill enough of my stuff, and I score 1 zone.
Yeah.
But in this game, I think a lot of it was I needed to be far more aggressive on my feet turn, and I wasn't. And I needed to make sure my caster was more aggressive, and I didn't.
No. And we did talk about it afterwards, and you did say run all the bashers.
If I didn't dice spike, I don't know if I kill you with that driller.
No. Well, that driller at the end, yeah, you can. He's dice plus 4.
I don't know if you let me have the driller if you didn't get desperate because I'd spike so hard.
Yeah. If you didn't spike that hard, I think I was in a fine position.
Yep.
That's the joy of the game.
Yep, that's why we play.
Alrighty, and that is.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for our rambling.
So
that's not what we want.
That's not what we want. That's us. I think it's this button. Is it? That's it. And we gotta hit stop.
I don't know how to do this, Dave.
Stop.